My name's Helen, and I'm 50 years old. 10 years ago, I was married. My husband's name was David. Ours was the kind of love people write about in old songs, simple, quiet, and warm like the sunrise on a winter morning. We met on a rainy Tuesday, on a crowded city bus. I was soaked, my umbrella broken, my mood worse. He was the stranger who offered his jacket without a word. That's how it started. They say, good girls don't talk to strangers, but I did. I talked, and he listened. We laughed. We met for coffee the next day, then the next. 1 year later, we were married. When I married David, I was young, spirited, and hopeful. I always struggled with my self-image, especially my weight. I used to tell David I wanted to go on diets, try new workouts. He would just smile and say, "You don't need to change a thing." He loved me as I was. I didn't appreciate it enough back then. David was not the flowers and chocolates kind of man. He didn't write love letters or bring me coffee in bed, at least not more than once. That one time he did, he spilled it all over my favorite dress. I laughed, but asked him not to try again. He showed his love in his own way. Every morning, he went to work and would call me in the afternoon just to say, "Wear something warm, Helen. It's cold today." We had 2 sons, Ethan and Daniel. David taught them to treat me with respect, to protect their mother. At first, he worked construction jobs, long and hard hours, but he was strong. Later, he became a manager. Eventually, he started his own small business, a renovation company. It took years, but it grew. We built a home together outside the city, a place with a big garden, a white fence, and room for memories. David told me not to work. "Take care of the house," he said. "Make it yours." So I did. I planted roses, tulips, and jasmine. I grew tomatoes, lettuce, and strawberries. I made our home beautiful. Time passed. Our sons grew up, got married. And then came our biggest joy, our granddaughter, Lily. She had David's brown eyes and my smile. David adored her. Every time she visited, his eyes sparkled. Then, one weekend, our older son Ethan said they'd bring Lily over. I was excited, but David said, "I won't be home. I'll be working." "Even in the evening?" I asked. "Maybe," he said. "I might stay at my father's house." That didn't sit right with me. His father had passed away 3 years ago. That night, I couldn't sleep. The next day, I drove to his office. But David wasn't there. The security guard looked away awkwardly. Then I heard a woman nearby whisper, "Poor woman. Everyone knows, except her." My stomach twisted. I called him. "David, we need to talk." He came home that night, quiet, eyes full of things unsaid. I asked, "Is there someone else?" He didn't hesitate. "Yes." The world shattered in a second. My voice trembled. "Will you leave, or should I?" David looked down. "I'll go." He packed his things. He left. And with him, he took the peace I had known for over 20 years. I cried that night until I couldn't breathe. My sons came. They hugged me, held me like I was the one who needed protecting now. "Your father left me," I told them. "But he is still your father. Respect him." The nights were the hardest. I couldn't sleep. I lost weight, not because of a diet, but because I couldn't eat. I stopped smiling. Then one day, my friend Margaret came. She didn't say much, just held my hand and said, "Come with me." She took me to the children's cancer ward at the local hospital. The children, frail, bald, pale, were still smiling. Their mothers looked tired, but full of love. Margaret whispered, "Helen, look at these women. They're fighting every day for their children's lives. Your pain is real, but theirs it's survival." That visit changed something in me. The pity I had for myself slowly turned into compassion for others. I started helping at the hospital. I raised money for the children's treatment, found sponsors, organized events. Slowly, piece by piece, I began to feel alive again. 10 years passed. Then one Women's Day morning, I heard a knock. I opened the door, and there he was. David. He looked older, thinner. His eyes had lost their confidence. He held his hat in his hands like a child waiting to be scolded. He said softly, "Helen, can I stay here for a while?" I stared at him, stunned. "This is still your house too," I said. He stepped inside and sat on the edge of the couch. "I'm sorry. Please forgive me." I didn't answer. Later, Margaret called. "Helen," she said, "I heard. David's new wife left him. Lied to him. The child wasn't his." And suddenly, it all made sense. Why he came back. Why he looked so broken. But I didn't know what to do. Could I forgive him? Could I forget the pain? David stayed in the guest room. He didn't say much. I cooked dinner like I used to. When I served it, he whispered, "Smells amazing. Just like before." I said nothing. He added, "I missed your cooking. No one makes soup like you." I looked away. "You made your choice, David." The next day, Ethan and Daniel visited. They were shocked to see their father. "Dad," Ethan asked, "what are you doing here?" David stood up. "I made a mistake. I hurt your mother. I want to make things right." They turned to me. "Mom, are you okay with this?" Daniel asked. "I don't know yet," I said truthfully. They took me aside. "You don't have to let him stay. We'll take care of you." "I just need time," I whispered. That night, I couldn't sleep again. Memories flooded me, good ones, bad ones. I remembered how David used to warm my hands in winter. I remembered how he broke me. The next morning, I looked out the window and saw him in the garden, fixing the fence. His back was bent, his movements slower, but he worked with care. I went outside. "You don't have to do that." "I want to," he replied. "This is still my family." I didn't respond. A few days later, Lily came to visit. When she saw David, she ran to him. "Grandpa," she squealed. It was the first time I saw David smile, truly smile, in years. She turned to me. "Grandma, can we go to the park?" All three of us. I didn't want to go, but Lily insisted. "Please, Grandma, like we used to." So we went. At the park, Lily ran to the swings. David and I sat on a bench. The silence between us was heavy, but not angry. "Thank you for letting me come back," he said. "I haven't decided yet," I replied. "I understand," he nodded. "Take your time. I'll wait." Weeks passed. He stayed in the guest room. He fixed broken cabinets, painted the garden bench, planted flowers I liked. Margaret visited again. "How are you holding up?" she asked. "I'm torn," I admitted. "I feel angry, but also sorry for him." "You don't have to forgive him right away," she said. "But maybe this is a chance for both of you to heal." That night, her words echoed in my head. The next morning, I made breakfast and called David to the table. "Let's talk," I said. He sat down, nervous. "I don't know if I can forgive you," I began, "but I want to try." Tears filled his eyes. "Thank you, Helen. I'll do everything to make it right." And he did try. We started spending time together, talking, laughing again. One day, I looked at him and said, "I will forgive you, but it will take time. You need to earn back my trust." "I will," he promised. Slowly, we found our rhythm again, not as lovers, but as two people who had once shared everything. Maybe we would never be what we once were, but maybe we could be something new. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know this. Forgiveness is hard. It takes time. It takes love. It takes patience. And sometimes it takes starting over. What would you do if you were in Helen's shoes? Would you forgive David? Or would you close that chapter for good? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters, and it helps shape the stories we share with you. If you felt something reading Helen's story, please like, share, and subscribe. Because somewhere out there, someone is fighting the same battle. And they need to know they're not alone.